Hey guys, it's me. We made it 5 years, despite what every bank told me when we got started. We were going out of business before the first year was up, and then the second, and now the fifth. And we finally made it, and it's very exciting. So let's go take a look back at how we got here. Early on in this process, probably before I started the business, I'd been in contact with a guy in town. His name's Mike Williams. He's our first client ever at Software Design Partners.
Hi, my name is Mike Williams, owner of Software Design Partners in Chesterfield, Missouri. So May 7th of 2018, I looked this up. Aaron hit me up on LinkedIn. We connected.
I'd cold called him a couple times trying to get him to hire me to be his vice president of sales. And I met with him a time or two, and he thought basically I was joking. I was a young guy and probably wasn't worth the money.
I should have hired him right away because he's really good at sales and really good at whatever he does. So I didn't. So he was originally looking to be an employee of ours. And then it kind of shifted to where we kept just talking kind of as friends as to what he was looking to do.
He had been in sales before, and he'd kind of jumped from a couple different jobs, and he'd had some bosses that really weren't that great, honestly.
And after a while, I came to the realization that I just needed to start my own business. I kind of disagreed with the way that a lot of business was taking place, some of the decisions that were being made. And instead of complaining about it, I decided I would go off and do my own business.
I mean, he had a great job when he decided to do this. So it was kind of like surprising. I kind of knew he wanted to start a business someday, but when he brought it up, it was like, no, I want to do this now. First things first, this never would have been possible without Lauren agreeing to it. Basically had to tell her we were going to lose a whole bunch of money and go into a ton of credit card debt, and she would have to go to work while I was off in La La Land trying to start a business. And she was all in. Just a conversation, and we sat down and talked about finances and stuff, and we had a plan, and basically we had 1 year to try to get something going.
And then it was like February of 2019. So several months later, he said, hey, Mike, I'm thinking about starting my own agency, and here's what I'm looking to do. Kind of ran through his business plan. Would you be interested in being our first client? And I knew the guy had it. I mean, he's a visionary. From what he's done at Arsenal, that shows, and just talking to him, he's a visionary that he's going to succeed at whatever he does. Aaron and I kept talking and said, yeah, we'd love to be your first client. Sounds like a great model. So he started the company, Aaron did, I think it was maybe a month later, and we were his first client.
We're still working for him. It's been a thrill, and we're just so thankful that Mike gave us that shot, because Arsenal Business Growth probably doesn't exist without Mike Williams and Software Design Partners. So when you see Mike coming around, you need to make sure you thank him.
It was just Aaron when he first got the Wildwood office. And it actually turned out to be this room that had like 2 great windows, and then we found out that that actually wasn't supposed to be the office. It was like this other little tiny room with no windows, and it was like a closet. And so you'd have to ask Aaron, but somehow he finagled it because he's like deal man, as I call him.
When we showed up to do the walkthrough, the guy showed me a different office that had windows in it, had 3 windows. And evidently I had signed for that office instead of the windowless one. So we took him up on it, and I really pressed and said, no, I need that office. That one's got windows in it.
He was able to keep the office with the 2 windows. Still very small office, but it was a little nicer than the one,
So the Cam, Arsenal, Aaron origin story, we were both account executives at another local marketing company. We worked together, pretty much side by side. I was his understudy, and so quite a few things stood out to me about not only Aaron and his sales skill, but more importantly, how he treated people, how he treated his peers. He was respected, and he would offer his advice really unsolicited any chance he could. And so that made a lasting impression on me. And so we ended up going our separate ways. We both left that company shortly after each other, and then about 6 months went by. I was on vacation, and I saw on LinkedIn that Aaron had started Arsenal. And so when I came back, it was in July of 2019, Aaron and I Got together, I shot him a message. He wanted to get together for lunch, and he was telling me, exactly about what he was thinking about doing here. And it was one of the easiest decisions I've ever made. I didn't even ask him how much he was gonna pay me. I just said yes. And so he was so excited. He wanted to give me, some Arsenal swag, and he hadn't ordered any yet. So he literally gave me the pullover that he was wearing, the original pullover that he had ordered for himself, because he was so excited. He hired his first employee.
Once Cam started, I know Cam was all in and doing his best, and they kind of had each other's backs, in the beginning, just to work together and make it happen.
Yeah, the first day of work, it was like we were starting from scratch. Aaron had the desk and he had the computer set up, but we were basically just making cold calls in a closet. We were under a lot of pressure to get things off the ground, and he sat on the other side of the wall from me, and even with the door closed, he could hear every single word. So a lot like when we were account executives back at our old company, he would hear every word I said, and he would be like, wrong, every time I said something. And at first it was really tough because you're under a lot of pressure, to build something from scratch. But kind of having that fortitude day in and day out built a relationship with him that is unbreakable. And in turn really helped us kind of get into lock and step with each other to figure out what he wanted this thing to be. So the original Wildwood office, it could hold, the very first one could hold three SDRs. We went down the hall for our break room. We had a couch and a TV in there, and then it was later on that year we ended up moving into the basement, and that space was a little bit bigger. We could hold about 18 SDRs or BDRs in that space, and I think Aaron knew we weren't going to be there for very long. It didn't even have a carpet. We had him redo the room, and we just had him hold off on the carpet. A, he knew we were messy people, but B, I'm pretty sure he knew we weren't going to be there very long.
Hey, I'm Marc Bernstein, founder and CEO at Balto. Aaron and I first met after he sent me a note on LinkedIn, and he said, hey, I've learned about your guys' software and I'm interested. And at the time, I think it might have been Aaron and 3 or 4 folks, and I said, I think you guys might not be big enough, it's not gonna be worth it, do you really wanna invest it? And he said, listen, if we can get your technology, we want it, we'll make it work, and we'll manage the entire thing ourselves. And I said, why not? And I remember him describing how he wanted to run the business. Tons of ownership for the sales folks. People manage their own accounts and their own books of business. And I had never really heard that before. It was different.
Man, we finished that year, me, Cam, and a couple other guys. I think we had a team of 4. COVID and all that stuff was happening. We were, just really cool time. We finished with $62,000, which felt like all the money in the world then, and we were just riding high. It was awesome.
I started working at Arsenal June 1st of 2020. I would have probably started sooner, but I was under a non-compete agreement, so I had waited a good 7 or 8 months to actually officially start. But I interviewed in a small little office that was maybe no bigger than like 10 feet by 10 feet, and there was 1 employee, which was Cameron. I think the second one, Sean, was just starting like that next week. So obviously, he was getting some people coming through the door, but I really wanted to work there. When I started, we went downstairs. There was an even bigger office that was maybe about twice the size.
There's room for about 15 folks or so. We buy a bunch of desks, and it's really scary because it costs a ton of money. We buy the new chairs with the chair backs. We contact Jason Scargill at Weiss Insurance because we want to offer good benefits. I think very early on we were doing a reimbursement program. We get the NEWA program, and it's just top shelf elite benefits. I still don't know how we got them. Very thankful that we did, and we're just growing, hiring a lot of folks.
My first day at Arsenal was back on June 15th, 2020. It wasn't that big of an office. It was about half the size of the probably a conference room in St. Louis now, and it was fun. It was the mentality of it was a loud sales pit. We had music always playing. We were always critiquing each other.
Yes, so I started on June 22nd of 2020 at the first Wildwood office. When I came in to interview, everyone was super nice, and I remember meeting Cameron and Justin, and I immediately wanted to work here. It was a lot of fun. I really liked Aaron, and I really liked the culture that I saw. A fun memory I have from the first Wildwood office is when we crowded around him while he was getting a sales appointment. I think the caption was getting an appointment under pressure or something like that.
It's tough to say. I think that the best memory, or the one that stands out to me the most, is probably when we used to shoot our interviews like this one before we had Matt. Aaron was the one that shot the videos, and we stayed after. We moved tables around to make it look good and have something in the background, and we brought our suit and everything else, but we used to shoot the videos, and then at the end of it, we had like outtakes, kind of like bloopers, where it would make you seem more like a real person. And when I shot my video, I talked a lot about Outback Steakhouse, and then Aaron mentioned something about bloomin' onions, to where I just started laughing, and we started talking about bloomin' onions literally for 2 or 3 minutes, and that was in my video. And as I was sending it out to prospects, there's one guy in particular who I won't name names, but he's a great guy, great company, and still won't give me the chance to work with him. But he watched my interview, and that was the one part of it that he had picked out.
I almost got ants in my pants. I'm ready. I'm like that bull that's inside the cage just waiting for the gate to come off. I'm ready. Please give me some clients so that we can make some money. I've never been more ready for any job I've ever started.
And I know we don't do those anymore, but I just thought that was really funny that we were in this small little room, not making more than maybe $200,000 up until that point as a company. And we were getting the attention of some of these big firms just because of how real the videos looked when we were filming our interviews there.
One of my favorite memories to this day was the first ever Christmas party. Aaron got up, started giving a speech. We had a gentleman, Sam, hop up, started giving a speech, and it was the same exact speech it sounded like, I think. So halfway through his speech, I interrupted him and walked right past him and bowled a strike. So he dropped the mic, and the rest was history. We've tried to repeat it every year since, and it hasn't had the same magic to it. So it's been fun, it's been unique, it's been interesting.
Just a whole lot of momentum. I think we finished that year at just above $652,000. So, basically 10x'd, as the gurus say, our gross revenue, and it was just a really exciting time. We're just growing, hiring a lot of folks. We start seeing a reason to go investigate St. Charles, right? This is in kind of the height of COVID, and everybody's panicking, and it's like we're driving to work and wondering if we're going to get arrested for doing it. So we decided to pick up shop and go to St. Charles, where you're allowed to go to work.
Aaron had found a space in St. Charles.
So first impressions was I knew Aaron would love it. It was further away from where we were at, so I'm like, oh.
She was like shit when she looked at it, because she knew it was the right decision, but it was like 45 minutes away.
I didn't love the distance, but I saw it, and it was right off the river. It had the brick on the inside, interior, and it was right on the main street, so I knew it was exactly the vibe that he was wanting.
It was really cool. It was huge, and I remember there were so many of us there. And I love the location with Picassos and tuners, of course. It was a lot of fun, and I remember all of us having our big team meeting, and it was really cool. I also enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, the St. Charles office after we left Wildwood was a huge win for us. Not only was it a bigger space, we could hold anywhere from about 50, 55 people at the St. Charles location. It had kind of more of a significant value to us. It meant that we survived COVID. It meant that we survived the work from home revolution. We survived, or were surviving, the recession post-COVID, and in fact, it meant we were thriving during a period of time where a lot of companies were laying off folks.
Which it had already doubled, and now it felt like it was quadrupling, and it just had all of this room to grow. And so we actually had a space that wasn't very well renovated, like with paint and exterior. So we actually were taking time out, like on weekends, going down there and painting the office ourselves.
The whole family painted. It was right after we had just had our first son, Ronan. And so we were there many, many late nights with our newborn sleeping like to the side. And my parents came down and painted. His parents were always there painting and putting together desks. And yeah, it was a lot of work, a lot of late nights doing that together.
I think I did such a terrible job of painting that I was told later, because it was unbeknownst to me at the time, but later on Aaron told me he had to go back over and repaint everything that I had painted because it was so bad. So I guess the moral of the story, don't ever ask me to help you paint your house. But yeah, we spent a lot of time in making that place to what it was. Like, we knocked out a wall to bring open more space on the east side of the office, as we called it, and we replaced all the carpeting. We did a lot of cool stuff for that place, and definitely a fun moment moving to that, because we went from like the 12 employees that we had in two and a half years to about 4 times as many. We were pushing 35 to 40 employees before we ever even came to St. Albans, so we filled that place up pretty quickly.
But that's really when we started developing an identity as a company, what our culture was, what kind of people we were looking for, what kind of organization we wanted to be, and more importantly, what kind of results we can guarantee our clients, leading them to success as well.
I started at Arsenal at the St. Charles office back in April of 2021. I mean, first impressions of Arsenal was just the idea of the camaraderie and the team that they had built already before I even gotten there, and also just the fact that there was a vision for the company. Going in there, meeting Aaron, I could tell right away that he's very driven and knew what he wanted to make out of this company. And Sam Baker, our director of sales here, he really helped me mold my pitch and how I wanted to portray myself on the phone. I had brought in a lot of experience on the phone from my past job, so I knew that was already going to be a strong suit of mine, and I just had to figure out the tools that I needed to sharpen in order to become the best salesperson I could be.
So I started February 2021. One of my first days, I was shadowing with one of the guys, seeing how the job's being done. And Aaron came out of his office on a sales pitch. He's FaceTiming the guy, and he told him, "Look at the live feed. Look at these guys working hard." And I thought that was a very interesting way to pitch someone. But at the end of the day, it's like, look at these people, working hard every day, day in, day out. Coming in early, staying after. We're not going to fluff it up. Like, what you see is what you get.
Started with Arsenal in September 21st of 2021. I started over at the St. Charles office. Yeah, found out about Arsenal through Justin Carey. I went to college with Justin. Been friends with him for 6 or 7 years now. But whenever he left college, he came up to St. Louis and he started at this job. And I kept asking him, I was like, "Man, what do you do there?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, we make calls and we have fun. And we have a putting green and we have some cool people that work here. It's a fun environment." I was like, cool. 6 months later go by and I'm like, "Justin, what's that company called again? What do you guys do?" He went through it. He got me hooked up with an interview. Met Aaron for the first time, and it was just a really cool kind of place to kind of surround yourself in. So yeah, thank you, Justin Carey, for introducing me.
So it was a really big year. Everybody really got to work, did a whole lot of damage, and we finished that year at a little over $2 million, which was, very impressive. Did not expect that. A lot of businesses struggle to get to $1 million, and we cruised right past it into 2. Right, we went from 650,000 to 2 million and just skipped, the $1 million mark, and that was really fun, really exciting. Kind of laid the groundwork and sort of an expectation for, growing quickly and being about our business and not necessarily goofing off. And I'm just very thankful we had that year.
So I started in January 3rd of 2022 was my first day. And I was in marketing before, and I kind of wanted to get into sales, but I was a little bit nervous about it. But I was like, whatever. So I applied, I went in, the environment was fantastic. I mean, we still hold the same kind of vibe and culture here at Arsenal, and I immediately fell in love with it. Started, I was terrified to get on the phones for the first time. I remember hoping to delay the training and actually having to get on the calls. I was like, oh, let's do another day of training. And unfortunately I had to get on the phones, but just jumped right in and immediately got used to it and was comfortable. My first week, I'm pretty sure it was my first week at Arsenal, and I didn't really know anyone too well. But Tanner, at the end of the day, one day did karaoke. And I thought like, oh, this is a thing that we do all the time. And turns out it wasn't. It was just, I guess Tanner lost a bet or something.
'Cause every time we touch, I feel the
And he was doing karaoke, but it was just hilarious. And I knew that was kind of one of those solid memories that I have of, okay, this is like a really fun place to be, and everyone here just works hard, but they have fun and joke around and laugh, and it was so funny. It sticks to me. I think it was like my first week here.
Yeah, so I started actually May 16th, 2022, right after graduation. It was the first thing I did, but it was a great experience interviewing. I kind of knew that it was a culture and a company that I wanted to be a part of, and that was pretty much proven right off the bat. I've been here going on 2 years now, and the culture's still just been the most impressive thing to me so far. It was a really nice location, being on Main Street, having access to all those shops, bars. It was about 5 minutes from where I was living at the time, so that was really nice. But you know, it was one of those things that we kind of knew it was a stepping stone. So being from there to where we are now has just been really awesome to see the growth.
I started working for Arsenal in June of 2022. And I remember my first day following Aaron in the door of St. Charles, and there was house music like pumping through the windows and the doors. I'm like, are we going in the right office? Do we have to cut through another office to get to our office? I wasn't sure. And then somebody came up to Aaron and they're flashing their new gold chain that they just bought with a closed deal check. And that kind of just caught me off guard, as well as the miniature John Cena that people would fist bump whenever they got an appointment. After my first week working there, it kind of felt like a modern day Wolf of Wall Street of some sorts. You know, I'd never worked in like a sales atmosphere doing video before. It was really always events and products and music videos, weddings. But working with these guys, they were the products. They were selling themselves. So it was just a different energy to be around altogether.
He had started Arsenal Business Growth and knew that at some point in time in the future, he would need a human resources department. In the interim, he was using me for context and to tap me for expertise around certain benefit issues, employee relations. The day came when he made a decision that it was time. He literally called me in the morning and said, I'm ready, can you start this afternoon? And I said, of course, yes. So I started in September of 2022. 40 years of experience in human resources that I was able to bring to Arsenal Business Growth. Started out in banking, and just prior to joining Arsenal Business Growth, I worked at Ameren Corporation as a director in human resources. I actually retired from Ameren in November of 21 and pulled a bit of a Tom Brady and came out of retirement to enjoy the work and opportunity at Arsenal in establishing the Human Resources Department.
Yeah, so when I think of the last office, honestly, I think of, I guess it would have been a year ago this month when I first took on 5 clients, joined sales team 6. For me, that was kind of the first time that I was like, oh man, like we're actually out here doing this thing. We're really picking up, and I've 5 clients every single month since. So that's been a grind sometimes, but it's been really fun, a lot of opportunity, and really enjoying it.
So lots of good memories in St. Charles. We had 50 people all sharing 2 bathrooms. So, you know, some of those lines were longer than the DMV, but, you know, I wouldn't trade it for the world, and lots of good memories, lots of good friendships and partnerships were formed out there. Aaron let it let it be known that we were going to be moving locations, that he was actively looking. You know, he would come back into the office from some of his meetings and he would let us know about, you know, which place he looked at.
So he saw this building come up for sale and he showed it to me and he was like, I think we can get this. And I was like, oh wow, like this is huge, that would be amazing.
I think it was one of the after work kind of breakdowns we do. Aaron came out and was like, hey, raise your guys' hand if you know where Saint Albans is. And everyone's like, no, never heard of it.
You know, I got pretty excited once Aaron started to, you know, throw around pictures of the new building and, you know, everything that it encompassed.
He has such a vision for seeing things and what they can be.
My name is Brian Phillips and I'm an SBA loan officer. One of the things that just most impressed me about Aaron is his business acumen, his ability to understand business at a higher level, his easiness to work with, and just his overall vision for what he was wanting to do for his company. With any lending process, it has its ebbs and its flows, but working with Aaron made it a little bit easier because he understood the way he did his financial work, the way he presented all of his information. It was really a better process because we were easier to work with because he was organized with what he was doing.
Yeah, 2022, huge year. Again, we've moved to St. Charles. Now we're moving back out of St. Charles, kind of west again, and it's a whole lot of renovations. It's a whole lot of painting. It's a whole lot of putting desks together, moving stuff. Again, another really difficult year as far as timing and time spent with family goes. A lot of really late nights to 2 or 3 in the morning, making sure that the office is getting set up. You know, go to work at St. Charles, you know, from mid-morning to late evening, and then go back to Saint Albans and work till 2 or 3 in the morning and do it all over again. So really tough year. I'm really glad we did it though, because the place looks awesome now. And I think we finished 2022 at $3.4 million. So again, added another $1 million to the top line, which is awesome.
I got to see this building before all the renovations. So, you know, this was a school before it was turned into this beautiful office building. You know, just the overall transformation from a 60,000 square foot Montessori school to a 60,000 square foot building that does business to business services was just remarkable to see what kind of time, attention, sweat, blood, and tears that he put into this thing, to the point where we cut the ribbon and opened the doors and had a really good time that day.
We finally got out here, opening day. It was really cool. We had the ribbon cutting and we just filled up pretty much the whole first half of the office.
It was a really cool drive out here the first time, and then just pulling up, you know, we got the gates out front, seeing the actual 60,000 square foot building as opposed to the little upstairs office that we were in before.
What a beautiful location. I remember coming in and I was just enamored by the gorgeous building that we're now in.
Walking through this space, it was, you know, it gave you chills because you could see exactly the way Aaron was thinking about the space. He was thinking about the facility.
It's definitely, I think the only word to describe it is surreal, to like sit and look around and say, like, just this room that I'm filming this video in is like bigger than any office that we've had before that.
We reorganize the company. We go from maybe a layer of management, mostly being a sales manager and me, to and directors and team leads and account executives, and man, just really set the table for scaling the company for the long term.
And then, you know, moving to Saint Albans, you know, it's got to be just the opportunity to be in the role I am now and to be able to help other people kind of grow similarly to how I did, and just start out little by little, getting that first yes, getting that first closed deal, and just watching people have fun and be successful. So that's kind of my milestones so far.
Being able to come out to Saint Albans, the 60,000 square foot school, is something that we really needed. I think when you have new people that come in, they need, you know, the corrective coaching and training. It's nice to be able to have your spots to do that and have the space so the people that are already working on their day-to-day, you know, they can focus, be where they're at, the energy's high, and then you have a chance to take a break and walk around and see it all. And it's just really cool to see it come full circle and be a part of that. was able to become the sales director for the MSP division and show people how I got where I needed to be to get here. You know, I saw how it was when you first sat down, you've never done sales before, you know, seeing them kind of taste that first success and be able to go do it again. And it's like that aha moment. It's really cool to see and be a part of that.
Yeah, I had a lot of milestones, I guess, I set in this building already in a short period of time. I got my 400th partner meeting, now second most of all time, leading behind our sales director, Sam Baker. Was also able to hit for the cycle, as we call it, where I was able to get an appointment for every one of my 5 clients in one day. So that was very special to me. And then, that led me to my, next path in my career here, which got me into the account executive position, which, I'm loving. And I also work very closely with Sam and, just trying to learn from him and, get better.
We finished 2023 with a little over $4.5 million in gross revenue. Again, adding over $1 million to the top line, which is just crazy. It sounds incredible saying it right now. It doesn't feel like it's real. And then 2024, we're starting strong. Things are going great. In February, we launched the on-campus internship program. We've got a real partnership with Southeast Missouri State. Very exciting. Actually, I think next week I'm going to go and meet with the dean of the business school and have lunch with a couple folks there. And I think it's going to be a long-term part of our strategy for new business development. We're going to try to replicate this at some other universities too. So Justin's down there doing a great job, a very early employee, but he earned an opportunity to go down to Cape, and so far he's delivering. It's awesome.
I never thought in a million years, at 27 years old, I would have a house, a new car, promotion, actively wanting to build up this office here down in Cape Girardeau. All the interns are crushing it. My goal is to see where I sit in another year from now. It feels like if you put the work behind everything, you get rewarded for it.
One of the coolest parts about working with you guys is your sales floor is freaking electric. Like, anybody who steps foot on that sales floor can feel the energy, and it's so clear that you guys are able to take that energy and actually translate it into results. Like, the energy becomes dials, becomes connections, becomes actually booked meetings for your clients, and people are swapping best practices. And it's honestly like an ideal picture of how someone should run a sales floor. You go look at the Arsenal sales floor, and that's your picture.
We'll continue on. There's some fun, exciting new business units that we plan to add, like executive assistant as a service and video editing as a service, and some of these other things that we use for ourselves that our clients really want, but I think they would rather outsource it to us because we're good at it. So, keep your eyes peeled. 2025, plans looking like $7.5 million, maybe more, and after that, 2026 is the $10 million a year, and it's going to be a ride. It's going to be hard work, but I know we're going to be able to do it. So again, thank you guys, and hope you enjoy this video. That's a retrospective on 5 years at Arsenal.
Congratulations on 5 years. What a journey it has been to get here, making moves and making things happen. As Aaron says, burn the boats. There is no looking back. I think hard work is an understatement. Just speaking for what I have seen Aaron do, I don't think I could speak enough to how much hard work he has put into this and all the sacrifices that he has made behind the scenes. And I think most importantly, doing all of that with honesty and transparency. I think that integrity and work ethic really shines here and in the Arsenal team, and has made Arsenal really just be a standout company. It's really incredible what has been done in just only 5 years. And on a personal note, I'd just like to say thank you to Aaron. This is more than I ever could have imagined. On that day, he told me he wanted to start a business. And I'm so grateful to God and to Aaron for providing such an amazing life for our soon-to-be 3 beautiful children. So congratulations on 5 years. We are so proud of you and we love you. Congratulations on 5 years. We love you.
We love you.
Focus. Focus.
Congratulations, Arsenal, on 5 years of success. It's a testament to the vision of Aaron and the quality of the people that he's assembled.
We know that it's taken a lot of hard work on behalf of the leadership team and all of the employees that come in each and every day to make a difference, not only for Arsenal, but for the clients that we serve and the markets in which they work. If you think about it, just across the country, there are so many companies who have grown and found success, even greater success, because of what we've been able to contribute as an organization to their sales and their performance outcomes for their business. Happy 5-year anniversary, Arsenal Business Growth.
Congratulations on 5 successful years. We are proud of you. We love you. May God continue to bless your family and your business.
We love you.
Good job.
Yeah.
Aaron, just wanted to say congratulations, man. It's been one hell of a ride. You know, we used to say back in the day, burn the boats. Once we make landfall, there's no turning back. And 60,000 square feet later and 5 years of hard work, you know, there's absolutely no turning back, man. We're on a rocket ship to the moon, baby, and we are going to make it. So it's just a question of who's with us. Congratulations, 5 years.
Well, congratulations, Aaron, on 5 years. It's been one hell of a wild ride to help build this place with you, and I continue to try to get you to the next level and the next level after, but, you know, well done. I know a lot of people said you wouldn't even make it this far, so, you know, you should be proud of yourself, and we're gonna keep growing, and we're gonna get twice the size of where we are now, well before another 5 years.
Congratulations again, Aaron, on 5 years, man. It's been a fun 4 for me, and I'm excited to see where the next 5 go. It's fun to see all the guys I've been working with over the last couple of years start developing their craft, really becoming more and more business related, and then they're also just moving up in the company too. It's been an absolute blast. It's been a crazy ride. Holy smokes, it's been a pretty good one.
I want to give a special congratulations to Aaron and all he has done for us. We couldn't have done this without him. I love our team. I love our mission. We're growing. It's just such a positive culture, and I just have so many good things to say about it. And yeah, it feels good to be here, and I look forward to seeing what 2024 has in store.
I'd like to say congratulations to Arsenal Business Growth, but I feel like congratulations is something that you say at the end of something, which, you know, I don't think we're done here yet. You know, I'm congratulating on what we've done so far, but I'm looking forward to the future and, you know, what we're going to do, and I really can't wait to see what comes in the next 5, 10, 20 years from now, you know, where you know, how big we're going to be, and you know, the impact we're going to make through other companies that we're doing sales for.
You know, Arsenal Business Growth, the growth that we've had. I know Aaron always saw this and envisioned this, to be able to kind of see him get that goal and us help out. That's just awesome to be a part of that. Going off that culture and that fire and that contagiousness to win. You know, congratulations to you, Aaron, your family. I know you guys have worked really hard. It's cool to see your family grow as well. A couple little ones, and it's just really nice to see it all come together.
Well, congrats, you know, first off to Arsenal for 5 years. That's huge. You know, thank you for everything that, you know, you guys have done for me, but also, you know, I'm grateful to be a part of the 5 years and to help grow it. And here's to many, many more happy years as we continue to grow.
So I just want to say, you know, huge congrats to Aaron and the whole team on 5 years. It's an incredible achievement, and I'm excited for the future.
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been a great ride so far. Like I said, I've been going on 2 of the 5 years that we've been in business now. I'm really excited for the future, really excited to not only grow professionally, but also hopefully make a lot of money in this building, and also at the same time just continue to see the growth that we have 5 years down, 5, 10, 15, 20 more to go.
Just want to shout out to Aaron for, you know, having day one, making it all the way to the 5-year anniversary. It's a huge commitment, it's a huge deal, and it's proven to see things all the way through, and it really motivates you to push yourself to the next limit, and really seeing this place flourish and continue to flourish has been awesome to be a part of. So I can't wait to see where we are the next time I make this video.
I couldn't think of a better person, a better business, a better mentor for people. Aaron is just one of those people that, you know, you just want to be around because of who he is. I wish him nothing but the best for his business, for his family, for his extended family. So Aaron, we appreciate you. Thank you for being a good friend of mine, and look forward to a lot more years of success from you.
Best wishes and congrats on 5 years, Arsenal. You all rock. You're building something super special. I mean, like literally special. Like this is not something that other companies do or experience, and the next 5 years are going to be even better. Arsenal Business Growth rocks. Congrats on what you guys are doing. You really have found some special formula, like you found the secret sauce. Keep the secret sauce up. You guys are doing great.
Best of wishes, Aaron, to you, your family, your team. Keep it up. You're doing an awesome job.